For those of you who are clicking on this, you probably already know what this is going to be just based on my last video, but if you haven't or if you need a refresher, let me explain. I'm attempting to do a Machinima collaboration experiment. Basically, it's to take different people, move them around into different skill sets, and have them make different parts of a machinima that will then come together into a final product. The reason I want to do this experiment is because there's a stigmatism to collaboration within the machinima community, and rightfully so. Collaborations don't have a good history within our community, and 95% of the time, they don't end well. Usually ones that succeed are either between friend groups, or they're very small-based collabs such as Discord servers or at award shows. The purpose of this experiment is to see whether or not people can successfully collab together, and to see how they go about that. The type of people I'm looking for really doesn't matter. I'm looking for anyone who's basically interested. It doesn't matter if you have experience or you have the right equipment. If you do, that's a bonus for the people you're working with, but essentially it's open to anyone who just has an interest in machinima and wants to do something different. Now, before I explain how this experiment will go along, I think I'm gonna have to clarify a few things. I think the impression people got from the initial video was that this is going to be a giant collaboration with different people with different skill sets working on different parts to make one whole machinima. No! That is not what this is at all. Basically, what this experiment is to have everyone do the same thing but from separate points in time throughout the month of November. To clarify, let's take for example, a bunch of people commented that they wanted to body act and voice act. Everyone is going to body act and voice act. Everyone is going to script write, film, and edit. What changes is the week you do it in. I'm dividing the month of November into 4 separate weeks. Week 1, everyone is writing a script. Week 2, everyone is filming and body acting. Week 3, everyone is voice acting and making sounds and effects and whatever they want to do. And week 4, everyone is editing everything that was taken and putting it together to make one machinima. The collaboration part of this is working together with either the people who did the work beforehand and working with people who are going to do it afterwards, and maybe having a bit of bleed through all around. Hopefully that explains what I'm trying to do. If not, oh well. For the purpose of making this first attempt as easy as possible, the machinima only has to be 1 to 2 minutes long. 3 if you really want to, but all I'm looking for is a 1 to 2 minute short. You can write whatever you want. It can either be a short contained story, or maybe it's a part of a bigger story, or maybe you just want to capture one specific scene or mood. It can be an action, it can be a comedy, it can be a drama, it can be horror. All I ask is that it be 1 to 2 minutes, and it either being on Google Docs or within a Word document. PDF if you want to be fancy. You have 1 week to write these scripts, and I'm thinking maybe end it on Tuesday, just Mondays and all that. After you finish your script, you can then send it to me, and I'll coordinate everything from there. It will then be handed off to the next person, and this is where things get interesting. In week 1, everyone has written a script. In week 2, everyone will be filming and body acting. That means the machinima you're filming and body acting for won't be your own. Instead, you'll be given a separate script from someone entirely different, and instead, your script is going to be given off to someone else who's then going to film and body act. Your task during this week is just take the script you're given, body act, and film it in any way you see fit. So, let's say for example, you're given a serious drama machinima, and you have to body act it. You can either do it straight and just have a one positioned, maybe slight movements, or, if you so feel like it, you could do very exaggerated hat bobbing. You could have everyone be flinging around. That's entirely up to you whether you want to take it seriously or not. You can film it straight with some very top-notch cinematography, or you can wave the camera around, just not giving a care. This is another element of the experiment crawling in. Whether or not each person of the project will take things seriously, or mess around a bit and not really care that much. The quality of this project rests entirely upon you, and you can sabotage it if you so well please. It's also up to everyone during this phase whether or not they want to body act for themselves or for other people's machinimas. That is entirely up to you, and I'll allow that to happen. All I want is easy ascertained footage that's either MP4, QuickTime, whichever format I can put on my computer and give it to other people. That then leads on to week 3, voice acting / sound. During this phase, people will be given the script and the footage, and they can choose whether or not they use the footage or the script or not to voice act. You can do all the lines by yourself, you can bring in different voice actors, or you can use people from the group. It's all up to you, hey? You can choose whether or not you use professional audio or your phone microphone. Though I will be laying a ground rule just to make it simpler for everyone, the audio does have to be an MP3 or .wav, just to make it easier for everyone. And I did say this includes sounds, and this is entirely up to you whether or not you feel it necessary to record sound effects for the project, or do music. I don't care, do whatever you want. And also, I have to stress, it's entirely up to you whether or not you want to take it serious, do the lines straight, or inject some filters or silly voices. Entirely up to you. After everything's been collected, all of this is going to be sent to an entirely different person to edit. Week 4 is where the heavy lifting begins. You're going to have to take the script, all the footage, and all the voice acting and sound files and bring it all together. Discretion is entirely up to the editor. You can either do it simple, just take everything you've been given and make something out of it, or you can interject music, sound effects, visual effects, anything you want. You can even do 3D animation. Entirely up to you and whether or not you feel the project can gain from it. Or you can botch the entire thing on purpose. Again, this is all part of the experiment on whether or not you want to take it serious, or whether or not you want to actually collab and work together and make something out of this. After everything's said and done, each person can then upload the machinimas to their channel, or they can give it to me and I'll compile them all together or make it into a playlist. We'll decide from there what everyone wants to do. I'll entirely just make it convenient for everyone. That's how it should all play out. Some things may go wrong, and I'm actually counting that in. At first, I was thinking maybe fill in the gaps or maybe make this an obligation for people or try to help people along the way. But I've decided to take a bit of a backseat, just manage things lightly, and include failure into this experiment. If during any of these phases someone either doesn't make a script, or the footage is corrupted, or they didn't get enough footage, or acting seems weird, voice acting seems off, or maybe the editing is just botched to all hell, I'm keeping that in. If no one does their part for 1 week, you're just gonna have to roll with it or fill in the gaps your own way. This is one part of why collabs fail, because people either lose interest or don't do their part, and we're gonna have to live with that. But on the opposite spectrum, one part of successful collabs is going the extra mile. You can keep to what you're doing per week, or you can do extra, help around, do other things. It's all entirely up to you, and if you do that, I'll make sure you're recognized for that. My personal role in this experiment is to manage a Discord, make sure everyone is assigned their tasks per week, and make sure they have everything that they need, and just to make sure things run kinda smoothly. I am backing a little bit just to make things interesting. For the most part, you're gonna have to work amongst yourselves and try to help each other and bring in your own resources. I know this sounds very daunting, and I'm trying to make it as easy as possible. Again, it doesn't have to be a big thing. All I'm asking for is at least 1 minute. Just give me 1 minute of a completed machinima and it's fine. That's good. This first go around should not be hard. I'm gonna try to make it as easy as possible. But if you are still interested, I've made a Discord server to manage everything. You can join below and join in on the experiment. And throughout the whole month of November, we're just gonna have a crazy, fun time. Or it completely falls apart. But that's the nature of an experiment. I'll see you there.